Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first episode of 2017 of Comics Relaunched. Brought to you, as always, from the hosts with the most pizzazz, Aaron Fowler and Jake Archer.
What's happening?
New Year. Well, it's been
New
70
Year.
days of New Year, but...
Yeah. Jake has a beard. Well, a slight beard.
Getting somewhere with it.
Getting somewhere. And already 2017 is off to a much better start than 2016 was.
I don't know. Around our area, a lot of people have died.
That's nothing. But on bloody New Year's Day, the Hollyweed sign
That's true.
was the best thing that could ever happen.
Unfortunately, though, the next couple of days, Trump's inauguration. So.
Trump's inauguration. He's not going to get anywhere with his run, is he? He's just not.
He's not get off the stage the way that people were talking. It's a bit weird.
No, but yeah, so 2016 was a long year.
Long and dry.
Long and dry. Like, we've got, so this week's, or this, whether it's a week or a month's episode, I haven't decided yet. This latest episode, we're going to look back at 2016, we're going to celebrate what was good in 2016 in popular culture. So we're going to talk about the best films, the best games, the best TV, the best comics. Usual stuff we talk about, but celebrating the good rather than the bad. Yeah, well, I'm going to talk about some bad stuff, but...
We got some shitters there.
There were some shitters last year. But in terms of popular culture, it was an up and down year.
Well, yeah.
It wasn't a great year for film. It was a good year for video games.
Yeah.
It was a very good year for TV.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
It was a dreadful year for Marvel.
Yeah.
Marvel Comics.
In general, for like the big ones.
I'd say it was a better year for DC.
It couldn't have got much
than they've had for a while, but they couldn't have got much worse from the last few years. I'm just trying to think. Music was a crap year. There wasn't a lot of great music, but you know, we don't usually talk about music because I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to music.
Everyone's got their own thing.
But other things, obviously, loads of people died.
Yes.
And since our last episode, Carrie Fisher died.
And her
God
mother.
rest the princess and her mother. I watched the documentary, the Bright Lights documentary.
Oh yeah, you watched that one.
Really good.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Really interesting thing. Because it's mainly focused on Debbie Reynolds, but there's a few bits that Carrie Fisher just... Oh, it's brilliant. But yeah, so Carrie Fisher died. God rest her soul. The princess.
And Disney not only got a massive payout, like $50 million or something for life insurance, but also have declared there will be no CG.
They're not going to recreate her.
There is no.
Which I'm kind of glad about.
Tarkin.
Because the CG Tarkin wasn't bad.
I like that.
But we'll get into that later on. Because we haven't talked about Rogue One either yet.
I'm watching it tonight.
Have you not seen it yet?
Not properly.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we've got that to talk about. What else happened in 2016 that was important?
It's kind
Trump.
of hard. Well, yeah, the American
Brexit.
election.
Trump and Brexit.
For politics-wise, the American election happened. It was an absolute...
Putin.
Well, Russia and their whole "we've got stuff on Trump" with Trump having hookers. Yeah, that was a fun one.
It's just a mess, isn't it? It's just a mess.
Oh yeah. Anyone playing Fallout 4, if you want to know how it all started, this is how it started.
This is the year.
Yeah, welcome to Fallout.
But let's just I'm trying to see 2017 in an optimistic light. I'm not going to say, it's going to be a brilliant year, because you say that and then it's a shit year.
Yeah.
That's how it works. But I'm trying to be a bit more optimistic. Like, so far, the last 17 days have been pretty good.
Oh, yeah,
but,
it's been really good.
Like, not for anything massive happening, but it's felt pretty good. Felt pretty chilled. But then again, I haven't been working much, and I haven't been at uni, so that's probably why.
So you've been working a hell of a lot, but it's also one of those ones of nothing much has been happening past that. It's just been, we could do.
Yeah.
However, what I find, I have read the first book of the Dark Tower, so I'm kind of...
I almost bought that yesterday.
What, the Gunslinger?
Almost bought the Gunslinger, but I went with something else instead.
What did you get?
I bought Wild Cards, which is the George R.R. Martin collected universe superhero story thing.
Yeah.
That he did back in the 80s.
Well,
I've read the first chapter so far. It's pretty good, pretty solid.
I highly recommend the Gunslinger, because it's been revised since the first publication of it, and Stephen King said, I revised this one, I don't need to revise the rest of the Dark Tower, this one just now fits perfectly in it, and it's incredible, because it just sets up so many questions.
Well, it's one of the films I'm most looking forward to this year, is the adaptation of the Dark Tower.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's Idris Elba and Matthew McConaughey. That's just a...
McConaughey's role I love, because I could keep seeing it every time I was reading about the character.
Yeah.
The Idris Elba one is like, wow, this is... it kind of blows you up.
An interesting choice.
Yeah, you don't think of Roland of Gilead being that. Like,
no.
Alright then, let's see how this goes.
Yeah, I was trying to think what else I've been reading and watching and stuff. I've watched a few films over the last week or so, like early 2016 films that I missed.
Yeah.
So I watched 10 Cloverfield Lane.
Oh,
that was surprisingly good. I think the ending's a bit Hail Caesar, which was a bit... for Coen Brothers, it was a bit...
yeah.
But yeah, I've been reading, catching up with stuff, because I've gone completely digital with my comics now.
Ah.
Completely digital, which has saved me a buttload of money.
Well, yeah.
But, yeah, so completely digital. Although I still tell people, go support your local comic book store. Go support your local comic book store.
If you can, do it.
If you can. The reason I'm doing digital is because I can't afford it, because I'm a student and I've got no money. So that's why I'm doing it. I've been reading some Star Wars books.
Yeah.
I read Dark Disciple, which is Sarge Ventress and Quinlan Voss from the Clone Wars. Going in there. Read Tarkin.
Oh yeah.
That was good. And I've got Lords of the Sith to read. So I'm skipping Aftermath because I've heard shit about it.
So most of the new continuity stuff then.
Yeah, look, I'm struggling to see the point of going back to the old continuity at the minute.
Some of it is really cool.
There is some really good stuff, but
post episode 6 stuff is really cool.
Mm. But yeah, trying to see the full story of what's going on in this new universe.
The only thing will come when you do read, like, if you ever do go back and read any of like the post episode 6 stuff, is that you kind of go, oh, they kind of borrow this from episode 6.
Yeah. Which they've done in Rebels as well, because they've introduced Admiral Thrawn. But but yeah, so shall we jump in to our awards of 2016?
Yeah.
And I think we will start, because it's sort of the lesser part of our show that we talk about. I think we'll start with Game of the Year.
Yeah, to be honest, it's one of those ones we probably will end up starting to talk about it a bit more. Yeah,
because last year when we did Game of the Year, I hadn't played a single game from 2015 at that point. If I go back now, trying to think about it, controversial choice, but my Game of the Year of 2015 would probably be Star Wars Battlefront.
That's not that controversial. It was good for what it was.
It was good, but like a lot of people are like, oh, I don't have a campaign, but it felt like Star Wars.
But they confirmed that the Battlefront 2 will.
Yeah, that's supposed to be this year, isn't it? End of this year? Yeah. Yeah. But other 2015 game, obviously Arkham Knight was good. It wasn't Arkham City, but it was still good. So I played a few 2015 games. But let's talk about 2016 games.
Yes.
So essentially what I've got in each one is sort of 5 or 6 games that I thought would, or comics or films or blah blah blah, that I thought were brilliant, and then one that was the top notch. So do you want to start us off, Aaron?
Yeah, so essentially 2016 game-wise was one of those ones of, it was a lot of support for amazing 2015 games. So you saw the DLC for Fallout 4 appearing, of Far Harbor, Nuka World, stuff like that. So I'll give kind of like for continuous support paid support, Fallout 4 is probably the winner.
Yeah.
Free support would actually go to my new 2015 game, because it did release in 2015, which is Overwatch.
2016, you mean?
Well, no, it was released in 2015 for the free update.
What?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2015.
No. I swear it was only like October, wasn't it?
I can't remember now. Now you got your question in.
24th of May, 2016.
Oh, it was. Oh, it's a contender, right? Well,
Yeah.
that might change my answer. Then. Okay. No, it came down to a tie, which is your best single player and your best kind of multiplayer that you could sit down and love.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, shout out again. World of Warcraft Legion happened last year.
Yes.
I would give it bigger props if I was still playing it, because I'm not playing it. Sorry, Blizzard, but your other game wins, which is Overwatch. However, for single player,
I've not played Overwatch, but I've heard nothing but good things.
Yeah, I absolutely adore it, and the fact that all the content they're bringing out is not only free, free content that you can buy if you want, any bits and pieces, like the boxes and stuff, but it's the developers are constantly there going, we want to make sure the game is fun but still competitive, and they've just leaked. Well, they don't leak. They teased their newest event, which is going to be the Chinese New Year, which is going to be new skins for characters again, and and some Chinese New Year events. So overall, mine is Overwatch, but for single player, it has to go to Final Fantasy 15.
Well, he's in my list. It's in my list as well.
So
we'll talk about it now because it's in my list.
Yeah.
It's not my winner. It's not my winner of Game of the Year. But what a game!
Yeah. Like I said, it's not my winner by far, but it's that one of, if I had to just include a game where I'm on my own, that one just takes the cake.
I haven't finished it yet.
No, nor have I.
I'm on chapter 10.
Am I going chapter
10?
10?
And I haven't played it since before Christmas.
Funny enough, I've been playing Fallout 4 again.
Yeah, I've been so preoccupied with other stuff that it's just not. I haven't gone back to it, but it's such a strong game.
Yeah.
It starts a bit slow, and there are many issues with it.
All Final Fantasy games have them, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, but by the point I'm at, you care about all the characters. The gameplay is fantastic. They took essentially the Kingdom Hearts gameplay and then just knocked it out to 50%, knocked it out by 50%.
Yeah.
And it's just, and the world is so beautiful. It looks so good.
Oh yeah, it's so well made.
And it's so good. The one thing that really I struggle with is that you can tell towards the end they started rushing it.
It feels like a different game.
Especially the dub.
Yeah.
Because some of the times where the mouths are moving is just completely off. Usually with supporting characters.
Yeah. Good.
But
they don't need to get them in as long.
No. But yeah, so and you can tell that the game has been started and scrapped and started again and scrapped and started again. You can tell it's been a long time coming with this game. That it's taken so long. And I'd say it was worth the wait.
Yeah, it was.
Because it's much better than 13. Much better than 13.
I would actually go as to say this might be the new Final Fantasy that we should actually benchmark. Where 7 was the benchmark, I feel this one should be. Yeah,
it's how Final Fantasy should be in this day and age. Because you've got Final Fantasy 7, which is this game that everyone holds as like a bible of video games. It's the ultimate game, blah blah blah. Personally, I think Final Fantasy 9 is a better game.
Well, I kind of fall with the...
And you go the other way, so 6 and 4.
Because, 6 for story was absolutely amazing. Because not only one character died, many did. But that's just to build the point.
But a big scale Final Fantasy game running like 7 or 9 wouldn't work now.
No.
Like, yeah, we've got World of Final Fantasy, which is it's got the old battle style and blah, blah, blah. But it wasn't as on the grand scale that 15 is.
It was a lot shorter, yeah.
So for me, it's a bit... it's got its issues, but it's a really strong game, and it's probably my second favourite game of the year.
I'd have to say as well, it's going to be one of those ones which is Kingdom Hearts 3 now has big shoes to fill with 15 being there.
And the Final Fantasy VII Remake.
Yeah.
But apparently Square Enix came out recently and said that they're a long way away. Like, do not expect to see them in 2017.
No, it's like
possibly not
one
even in 2018.
Episode 1 might be 2018, because it looks to be they are using the same, if not a higher variant of the engine of the 15 one.
Yeah, and they said about Kingdom Hearts is that there's some worlds they haven't even started on yet. So,
I like that though, because it means that they're actually taking some time with it.
Yeah. Anyway, that's Final Fantasy. Have you got any other shout-outs for video games?
Yeah.
Before I go into mine?
Weirdly, again, Pokemon Sun and Moon actually happened.
Yeah, that's in mine as well.
Yeah. I don't really mention it much because it was one that I got it, I played through it and everything like that. But it kind of it wasn't like the older Pokemon games. It kind of just, once the game's done, there's not a lot there.
There's all that battling stuff with all like the old characters and stuff, but that's about it, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because I haven't finished it yet. But the thing, I was really worried about it before it came out. I was like, they've done too many changes, and it's too different. So I was struggling to get behind it, but it is a really strong game.
I would say it's stronger than X and Y, especially for story. This is one of the most complex stories that Pokemon's ever tried to tell.
Yeah.
And it pays off. Yeah,
I like what they did with the HMs. They got rid of HMs and they replaced it with the different Pokemon that you could call in.
Yeah.
It looks nice. The whole game looks really nice. It's got a few frame rate issues in battle, which they had in X and Y, and they had in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, which kind of makes me think, why haven't they fixed it yet?
Yeah, I'm a bit unsure of why they haven't updated the engine. They've had it for about 3-4 years, and they've decided to keep
it seems to be when it's a double battle is when it really goes.
It really, especially
really
when you start using the area of effect, like the surfs and the thunder, then it starts to really start chugging.
But yeah, it's a strong game. I think the new Pokemon aren't great. There's a few that are really cool, but
yeah, the Alolans are cool.
The Alolan are brilliant.
They're the standout piece, but the new it reminds me kind of the X and Y ones. There wasn't a lot of cool stuff in X and Y new Pokemon wise.
No.
I mean, to be honest, I don't think we've seen any really standout, amazing a set of Pokemon since Diamond and Pearl.
No, there are 2 or 3 real standout Pokemon.
Oh yeah.
X and Y, like Aegislash.
Florges.
And for me, Aurorus, the ice dinosaur. But yeah, so that's Pokemon Sun and Moon. There's not too much to say on it. Just it was surprising how good it was.
Yeah, better than it was, but again, there's still some work there.
So the other games I want to give a shout out to before I announce my winner, and I think anyone who actually knows me has probably guessed what my winner is already. But Lego Star Wars: The Force Awakens.
Yep.
It was nice to have Lego Star Wars back. That's pretty much all I've got to say on it. It's just the new Ratchet and Clank game was, although it was just a remake of the first one with extras, it was absolutely brilliant. And the film, I watched the film the other day. It's quite amusing.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the story of the game, but my winner is Uncharted 4. Uncharted 4.
Of course it is.
Oh, it's just those games, right? So I didn't play any of them until 2012 because I didn't get a PS3 until 2011. So I played them all through all of them in 2012, and I did like Uncharted 1, Uncharted 2, and Uncharted 3 within 3 weeks. So it was just compressed into that time, and then I had to wait bloody 4 years for the next one. And I'm sat there and I'm playing through it, and the first bit I noticed, I was like, this is going to be one of my favourite games of all time. Is they're sat there and you play the game, and there's Nate and Elena are sat on a sofa and they're talking, and they turn on a PlayStation 1, and then you have to play a level of Crash Bandicoot.
Yep.
Awesome. Best thing ever. And then you had, and then you just play through the game, but the ending of this game, whereas all the other Uncharted have gone down a supernatural route, like with the El Dorado stuff and the Shangri-La stuff and the big
They kept it
temple.
grounded.
Yeah. They kept it grounded. It's just a big fight and a fire at the end, and then you just, that perfect ending where everything's happy. It was a happy ending.
Oh,
like,
the whole, you're playing as
Nathan Drake's daughter.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's so happy. But it also leaves up possibilities for further down the line doing like Sully and Sam doing a story, or Nathan Drake's daughter doing a story. But
I can
as
see
of right
that
now,
one, especially like as a kind of like a team thing, like like how the
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed went to Brotherhood. I
Yeah.
can see that similar, that you control the network, as it
Yeah.
were, and you go
Like,
on dives.
they've shown the DLC, the single player DLC for Uncharted 4 is Chloe from Uncharted 2 and Nadine from Uncharted 4 doing a little mission together, which I'm looking forward to. But yeah, Uncharted 4 is just, it might be my favourite game ever. Uncharted 3 was my favourite game. No, Last of Us was my favourite game. And then Uncharted 4 came along. And I think you can see in Uncharted 4 the effects of The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Because Uncharted 3 is very, although there's some serious bits, it's quite jokey and there's a lot of stuff. But Uncharted 4, Last of Us happened, and then Uncharted 4 has the environmental storytelling and the darker plots and the...
It's family.
Yeah.
It hits the player right where it would hit anybody, which is, it's family.
But can we just mention as well, again, about, because it's happened since we've done the episode, The Last of Us 2 reveal.
Yeah.
Which I was so excited. I was forever up in like, they don't need to do Last of Us 2. They don't need to do Last of Us 2. And then they showed that trailer and I'm like, I want The Last of Us 2 now.
It looks interesting because it's not a direct sequel, it's like
Part 2.
sometime. Yeah, it's the fact that they kind of sneakily went, oh yeah, the story's not done, we're still going.
And apparently you play as Ellie for the whole game.
That I like.
Which I'm all for.
Yeah.
Because Ellie is an incredible character. But yeah, so winners, the big winners, Uncharted 4 and Overwatch.
Yeah.
Should we say? And that seems to be the big winners across everything, is being Uncharted 4 and Overwatch, really.
And it makes sense.
They're the game of the years for most people. So, I think next we'll move on to TV.
Well, the final things on the game side...
Or you got someone else?
Well, yeah, because some other things have come out just recently, it's kind of like as predictions for next year, is...
we'll talk about what we're excited for 2017.
So, Nintendo Direct's been going absolutely insane with the Nintendo Switch.
Which I was slightly disappointed by.
I like the concept. The issue I have is the current... Again, pre-orders are from March. That's really quick.
Yeah.
For something so... what looks to be revolutionary.
Yeah.
The game costs are astronomical.
Well, I haven't seen the games cost. What are they?
60
what are you looking
quid
at?
minimum right now.
For a Nintendo console?
For a Nintendo console.
They better make this Mario Odyssey game bloody good then. I would never pay 60 quid for a Mario game.
Well,
never.
I looked at I looked at the trailers for most of the games coming out.
Mm.
The Fire Emblem one, it was a terrible trailer. It showed absolutely nothing, and
Well, they had the Fire Emblem Direct this morning. So
yeah, that's your trailer. It's like, all right, I'll have to watch that at some point. The Mario game looks terrible.
I know. Like I just saw it and I was like, that's wrong. That's just not right.
The Real World Galaxy thing was like, this is terrible. Why did you do that? I feel like I'm watching a 3D version of Mario's Missing.
Yeah.
The only game...
Splatoon 2?
I get
was
it.
Splatoon not even that good?
Yeah, it was before Overwatch. It was like the most popular first-person shooter, and it became relatively competitive.
Mm.
So I get it. You want to try and keep up with Overwatch. You want to try and keep up with the rest of the first-person shooters, so you make Splatoon 2. The Mario Kart remake, that's just...
Yeah, most of it seems just like HD remasters and shit.
Yeah, the only thing there that gets me excited is being the fact that Breath of the Wild, the new Legend of Zelda game, is a release title.
Yeah.
And that was the reason why I bought the Wii, was because Twilight Princess was a release title for it.
Mm.
My issue being, though, this console only costs £300.
Yeah.
How bad's that going to run? Because all we've seen is demo versions of it running, where it's not as open world as what they're claiming.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing I've got with this console is when they showed that initial like sizzle reel thing.
Yeah.
Back in like November, I was like, oh, that's awesome. That's a really cool idea. And then they showed off all the launch titles, and I'm like, yeah, there's nothing there that I care about at all.
Yeah, the only thing I'm worried about is the fact that you can take it on the go and everything. Right, so the entire console is that tablet.
Yeah.
How powerful is that tablet? Because if that tablet's pathetic, then everything's going to run like ass on this thing.
Yeah.
So, what's going to be a pre-order is a no. The other one being, PlayStation recently just brought out a story trailer, and we're going back to comic books as well with this one. Injustice 2 has now got its story trailer.
It looks so good.
The story trailer is incredible. They've really done a lot of work with it. For
I
what
like how they've been. I like how quiet they've been about the roster as well.
Yeah.
Because I think we know Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, Supergirl, Harley Quinn, Atrocitus, Grodd, Darkseid. That's it, I think.
Yeah.
For definite that we know.
Really
Blue Beetle. Amy Reyes, Blue Beetle.
And then they're keeping it quite locked down past that.
I'm guessing every character will be back from the first one.
Or every surviving
character. But the thing is do they continue the story? Because they continued the story in the comics.
See, now that is the question, is do they pick up where the comics lay off?
Or
do they have their own continuity?
Yeah, or is this a completely different story?
Yeah.
That's set in a different world, different universe, where that injustice never happened. Right.
I would prefer that one, because again, the comic book went very magical.
Comic book went weird.
Yeah.
It was good, but it was weird.
Like the introduction of John Constantine and Swamp Thing and stuff like that. I mean, how would you make that work in a fighting game?
Mm.
Swamp Thing is a giant green man. Okay, I can kind of get the whole...
Well, if you take down the route of Alan Moore's Swamp Thing, he's a god.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's a god.
Yeah. But, yeah, so Injustice 2 looks brilliant. Horizon Zero Dawn, that's the big contender for Game of the Year already.
I'm hoping that thing doesn't hurt me, because...
What's it, March?
March 1st,
March
days
1st.
Before the release of the Nintendo Switch.
I'm getting that day it comes out.
Yeah.
Playing it non-stop.
I'm just hoping it doesn't hurt.
Obviously, I'm going to pick up Kingdom Hearts 2.8 this month, because I'm a sucker for remasters. Yeah, end of this month. Mainly just for that extra bit, the Aqua bit that's new. I'm just trying to think what South Park.
Oh yeah, the
fractured butthole.
I like
makes me giggle every time.
I'm more impressed by the pre-order bonus. They've done really well there.
Yeah.
Pre-order, you get both the games essentially.
Yeah.
In fact, it is a direct sequel of The Day After. Is absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's good stuff coming for. And I don't know if Last of Us 2 is supposed to be this year or next.
I think it's 2018.
Probably 2018. But I'm just trying to think. There's nothing from Xbox that I give a damn. Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, I believe the Crash Bandicoot remake is out later this year. So
yeah, well, we had that gameplay trailer recently, didn't we?
Looks so nice.
Okay. Anyway, yeah, so video games, there's some good stuff coming. There's been some good stuff. Let's see where 2017 takes us.
Yeah, check done. Games out.
Let's go for TV.
Sure.
Because that's next up. Now, I don't know how you've done it, because you haven't watched a lot of TV this year, have you?
I haven't. So I've BS'd mine a little bit.
So yeah, I'll let you say what your favourites were, and then I'll go into...
So, I've BS'd mine a little bit mainly because I don't think this one started... It definitely didn't start in 2016 because it's
because I've got two winners. I've got a best new series and a best returning series.
Yeah. It's one of those annoying things. If I've got a lot of stuff to watch, like I'm still trying to catch up on Game of Thrones, but that's besides the point. So I can't put that as a winner because I never watched the latest season. But for me, it was. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this season appeared. It ended in 2016. I can't remember if it actually began in 2016. But my overall winner goes to Rick and Morty.
Let me have a look. Let's have a Google.
I know the latest season started 2016. I think it ended in March. That's season 2. Because it's one of those shows which is you don't think much of it on the face.
No, it didn't. It went October 4th, 2015 was the last episode.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm still counting that. It came on Netflix in 2016, so. Right. I can't think of anything decent 2016 was I've watched. No, I've got nothing. But Rick and Morty's mine for now because I only watched it in 2016. And the latest season's out is out. Well, it's just started like last month, so.
So let's talk. Well, for me, we'll talk about returning TV shows first.
Sure.
So if we take, the season, it would be the second half of the season and the first half of the next season for all these shows, except 2 of them. So we've got one of my shout-outs, Arrow.
Yeah.
Because the second half of season 4 was dreadful, and I get that, it was bad. But the first half of season 5 of Arrow has been so strong. And the big crossover was so good. And the 100th episode was awesome, and the final episode was before the break was brilliant. And it's now, this season, it's been the strongest of the 4.
Wow.
It's been the strongest of the 4 shows, which I never thought would happen again.
Yeah.
Which I never thought, never say it would. Now, obviously, the next one, Flash.
Yeah.
These are probably going to be on my list every year until they stop. But the thing with Flash is, this is here because of the end of season 2, not because of the beginning of season 3.
Right.
Because the end of season 2 was super strong. It was just incredible. Especially the Kevin Smith episode at the end of season 2 with the little dinosaur thing. That was awesome. But series 3 has been relatively weak, I think, compared to the last 2 series. And I'd actually put it below Arrow and Supergirl.
Wow, really?
Yeah, at the moment. It's not as bad as Legends, though. Legends is the weakest.
Yeah.
But there's just the point of Legends is it's all the characters that no one cares about. But it's
yeah, it really is.
Flash's second half of season 2 was so strong of Flash. And I'm not saying that the first half of series 3 has been bad. It's just not been what I wanted. Because it's like, Flashpoint, Dr. Alchemy, Savitar. I'm like, oh my god, that's amazing. And then I'm like, but you didn't quite hit the nail on the head. Which is always a shame when something like that happens. But, oh well. They haven't started doing Kid Flash. Wally West is now Kid Flash.
Oh, right, that's good.
So the next shout out, Supergirl. You give me a show with Martian Manhunter in it, and I'm just gonna be blowing it all day because it's Martian Manhunter. But now they're starting to do Mon-El, so they're building up to the Legion, which always is exciting. Cyborg Superman's turned up. They did Superman, and he was brilliant. Tyler Hoechlin's Superman, just awesome. Now, the next one on my list is the last of comic book shows. Because the problem is most of the shows I watch are comic book shows, because that's just who I am. But the thing, I almost didn't put this on my list.
Oh, wow.
Because it was, the middle part of the season was really bad. So I've gone with Daredevil Season 2.
Okay.
Because the first 4 episodes of Daredevil Season 2 are perfect. Like, I can't fault those 4 episodes. where they start with the Punisher. Just
Yeah.
incredible. Episodes 5 to 8, dreadful.
Are they the
when they start doing the Elektra stuff?
Yeah.
8 it picks up again because I'm pretty sure that's the Punisher fight in the prison. And then they come back with Punisher and the Kingpin and the Hand stuff, and it gets better again. But those first 4 episodes of that season are so strong that they could have been the whole season. Like, you could have done 4 episodes. So like, oh, sorry, we're only doing 4 episodes for Daredevil season 2. Done that, and I would have been like, yeah, cool, sorted. Now I've got another shout out before I announce my winner, and that's Star Wars Rebels.
Yeah.
Because come back and with a vengeance in Series 3. There's a giant yak thing, right, that lives in the desert there, the new Rebel-based planet, who comes out of the ground and is Force sensitive, but is like neutral between the Force. So he's not dark side, he's not light side. And it's voiced by Tom Baker.
That's awesome. Which
is amazing. It's called Bendu, and it's this giant thing. It's awesome. But they're doing, you got Grand Admiral Thrawn being introduced and doing stuff. Darth Maul's hanging about. It's just Agent Callus is back, and it turns out Agent Callus, spoilers, Agent Callus was Volcrum, who is the rebel spy. He's a big guy in the Empire, and it turns out he's a rebel spy. It's amazing, brilliant. And now in second half Series 3, they've introduced Saw Gerrera from Rogue One, and they're just going big with Rebels, absolutely massive. And there's going to be a fight between Obi-Wan and Darth Maul.
Oh, the revenge fight.
The revenge fight. Well, we know who wins that fight because
yeah.
We've seen A New Hope. But yeah, so Star Wars Rebels has just been awesome. And so strong.
Now, I just thought, because again, I've been classifying as airing on television.
Yeah.
I have got 2. So, for essentially national or regional, how you want to spell it, the Grand Tour.
The Grand Tour.
The new Top Gear is being incredible. It's everything you want, and everything you ever wanted from Top Gear, done correctly by Amazon.
Yeah, well, it's just the budget's like 3 times the size as it was on Top Gear.
Essentially, it was just like, here you go, lads, do what the fuck you want, I don't care. Just make it good. But my other one, which is my foreign one of the year, is Kamen Rider Amazons. Now, I think we mentioned on the show every now and again the Kamen Rider series, which is like a tokusatsu show. Similar to what I think it was based around the Power Rangers was based around one series of like one of these shows. Well, in the beginning of 2016, they decided to give them a budget to do an adult variant of the show. And they gave them, I think it was like a 12, 13 episode season, and went, give us the best and the darkest you've got. And Japan kind of delivered and went, here you go, Amazon Prime. Again, it was an Amazon thing. Amazon's TV show internationally has been absolutely incredible. And it was so popular, it's got itself its own season 2, which is very rare in Japan to ever get a season 2 of any like one-off show. But it's dark, it's miserable, but it's a very serious plotline of what is humanity when your humanity is being threatened by a virus. Are you actually a human when you're kind of like part this virus, part human? It's the whole question of morality and humanity, and I recommend it if you can find it online, but you've got to try and find hard, because again, Amazon Prime, it was an Amazon Prime only show, but in Japan only, so it's one of those ones of dig around for a streaming service, but it's worth the watch.
Cool.
So go for your finale then, Jay.
So my winner of Best Returning TV Series of 2016, representing us Brits, Peaky fucking Blinders.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck it. Oh. That show, if anyone who hasn't watched that show is missing out, because it is just. I'm not a fan of period dramas at all. Like, I don't like. Well, I say that, but period counts for 60s and 70s as well, and I love that.
Period is anything for us. So.
But period, like I'm talking like 1800s, early 1900s.
Yeah, your standard one. So
yeah, but Peaky Blinders is set 1920.
Yeah.
Maybe, because it's just after World War One, and we're now 3 seasons in. But yeah, it's such a strong show, and this season was so good. Cillian Murphy is just incredible. Tom Hardy came back and was awesome, and it's just, it's the best show. But I don't want to spoil anything, because if you haven't watched it, when you get to Series 3, you will just lose your mind, because it's so good.
But they've got to be setting up for Bloody Sunday soon.
Yeah. But yeah, there's a bit. The finale of Series 3 was just off the wall, completely off the wall. But so there's the best new TV shows. I'm just going to run through this. Beginning of the year, I completely forgot about this until I was reading it the other day and remembered how much I liked it. Was Love, the Netflix show.
Okay.
3 of my new TV shows are all Netflix originals. Love is, I've forgotten her name, Gillian Jacobs from Community, and some nerdy looking guy, can't remember his name. And it's a really anti-rom-com story. So it's 13 episodes, 10 episodes long or something like that. It's just an anti-rom-com. It's really cleverly written. Number 2 is Stranger Things.
Yeah. So strong that it immediately got a season 2 added on.
So strong, yeah. It was weird, it was dark, it was well acted. I didn't find child actors annoying.
No, they were really well done.
Really well, such a well done show. And I think it benefited from being able to binge watch it.
Yeah.
I think if you had to sit down for 8 weeks and watch that, you would have lost interest, but because you can just break it out, it's just incredible.
It's a good thing that Netflix can decide whether they feel a bulk or a per week is the better way to do it.
So yeah, Stranger Things, because 11 is one of the best characters ever. And the next and the final of the Netflix ones that made my list this year, The Get Down. What's The Get Down right there? So The Get Down, because it's not got a lot of publicity. Not many people seem to have watched it. So if you haven't watched it, it went under the radar. Baz Luhrmann, who did Great Gatsby, Romeo and Juliet, Moulin Rouge, these big theatrical sets and blah, 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 tells the story of the birth of hip-hop. What's not to love? Grandmaster Flash is a character.
Well, let's face it, it was also, this has been a thing coming, because again, we've had Straight Outta Compton happen, and then we had The Get Down. It's people want to know, the untold history of hip-hop and rap. Yeah.
But yeah, the main kid you've got in The Get Down, played by Justice Smith, not to be confused with Jaden Smith, who is also in the show.
Yeah.
But Justice Smith, he is so good. He's got such charisma. And then you have Shaolin Fantastic, played by Shanique Moore, who takes one of my top films from 2015, Dope. He was in that. So he was absolutely brilliant there. Absolutely brilliant. It was only 6 episodes long. The first episode's an hour and a half, the rest are only an hour. Again, benefits from a binge watch. And the second part's supposed to be August this year, I think.
Okay.
Now, my surprise of the year for TV, I've only seen the first 5 episodes, because I'm watching it as it airs over here. But it aired in America back in September, I think it started, and that's a show called This Is Us, which is getting all of the talk rage in America. Essentially, it's a story of sort of 3 or 4 stories that are all intertwined. It's all based around this one family, but each character has their own storyline. So you've got the mum and the dad, and their story's set in the 70s. And you've got, and that's about how they deal with their relationship and the birth of triplets.
Right.
Except one of the triplets, spoilers, one of the triplets dies, and they adopt a young black kid. They adopt a black kid. So they've got 2 white kids who are twins, and a third black kid. And then the other stories are each of the triplets. And you've got Kate, who is morbidly obese and is trying to lose a load of weight, but she can also sing, and she meets this guy called Toby. And that's the most interesting story. Then you've got Kevin, who's an actor, who gives up being on a sitcom to go and do Broadway or whatever it is. And then you've got I've forgotten the name, Randall, who's the adopted child.
Yeah.
And his story is him finding his real dad.
Oh,
And
cool.
it's a really subtle show, but it's so well written and so like emotionally driven. That is why it's made my list. And it was a big surprise because I saw the trailers for it on the thingy, and I was like, ooh, Mandy Moore's in that. I like Mandy Moore, and watched it, and it was brilliant, absolutely brilliant. But my winner for best TV show of the year, and hopefully the best TV show ever with the following seasons, Westworld.
It'd be a hard push to see it. Not
Oh,
big thing.
Westworld is incredible. I can't pick out a flaw with Westworld. Like, it's just so... And I'm not going to spoil anything, because that is a show that if you spoil it, it's ruined.
Yeah.
So, everyone go out, watch Westworld. Cast is incredible. It's Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins is in it, for goodness sake. He's incredible. So yeah, go out and watch Westworld. That's literally all I'm going to say. I'm just going to say it's the best thing I've watched all year.
See, now next year... No, see, this is the thing about next year is... The one show I'm most looking forward to is American Gods.
Oh, yeah.
Neil Gaiman's
Hell
American
yeah.
Gods. It looks absolutely fantastic. That's the only
The
thing I
book
can think
is so
of.
good as well.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can think of. If it's done well, could beat Westworld next year for me.
It's also got the... it's already the best comic of 2017 as well, because the book's being adapted into a comic.
Yeah.
And it's just the book, but in the comic form. So it's already the best book. It's already the best comic book of 2017. But yeah, American Gods. Obviously, you've got Iron Fist in a couple months. Because Luke Cage was really disappointing for me. I didn't get on with it at all. But Defenders as well.
Oh yeah.
Iron Fist and Defenders and Punisher is supposed to be this year. Punisher TV show.
They're there.
So they're going big. DC have said that they've got a new show that they need to announce that's with Arrow, Flash and Supergirl and that. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, because so far their announcement, which I'm really excited for, is the Constantine shorts.
Constantine. No, they're not shorts. I'm pretty sure they're full episodes.
They're 10 minutes long.
Oh, they like the Vixen and the Ray ones?
Yeah.
Oh, right. So
yeah, like about 5 or 6 10-minute long, voiced by Matt Ryan.
And I'm sure Thingy will turn up and Arrow and Flash will turn up and stuff. So that I'm just trying to think what else. Obviously you've got Stranger Things season 2, American Gods, loads of season 2s basically.
There's a Wizard of Oz.
Emerald City.
Emerald City, that's the one.
Vincent D'Onofrio as the wizard.
That looks kind of cool.
That's supposed to be quite good.
There's another one I've noticed, which was I can't remember the name of it, but it's like a kind of another dark twist of like a psychic who moves into a town. It moves into a town filled with angels, demons, and vampires, type of thing, and humans, and someone turns up dead, and it's now kind of his job to kind of work out who's murdered this person. I can't remember the name of it, but it seemed kind of intriguing.
I think 2016 though was TV was at its strongest.
Yeah.
Like TV was what stood out in 2016, mainly just because of Stranger Things and Westworld.
Yeah.
But there's some good stuff coming in 2017, so look out for that. So we'll save all the comics till last. So we'll go for films next. I don't know, you watched several films this year.
Yeah, it was just a shock for me. Normally I don't watch that many.
But me and you would have watched very different films.
Yeah. So.
Although I think one of them might be a crossover.
So I kind of went with the pop culture-y films, the ones that we know and we've seen. So I would say the big stinkers of the year was Civil War last year.
Civil War was 2016. I wouldn't say Civil War's a stinker.
It wasn't great. But then Batman v Superman happened.
Yeah, the thing is, right, Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad are both shit films.
Yeah.
But I like them.
It's because it's stuff we like.
Yeah.
And that's the
especially Suicide Squad. Suicide Squad is enjoyable. You can watch Suicide Squad and not think, oh, this is fucking dreadful.
Batman v Superman, I tried to like it as much as I could, but it just wasn't as entertaining as Suicide Squad.
It is hard work, Batman v Superman.
But then I watched Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Now, I like Assassin's Creed quite a lot. And I like Michael Fassbender a lot.
I love Michael Fassbender. I like Marion Cotillard. And I like Jeremy Irons.
To be honest, yeah, Jeremy Irons really made that film more entertaining than it was.
Really? Because he's been nominated for the Razzie.
Well, let's put it this way. If he wasn't there, this film would have been even worse. It's one of those ones. The only film that gets away with giving you a wall of text, or giving you text at the beginning of the film for pretense, is Star Wars. I don't know how they still get away with it.
Well, they didn't in Rogue One.
In the standard, like in the episodics.
Yeah.
It's the only one that still gets away with the pretense text wall. Assassin's Creed, it only had 2 sentences, but it's still like, oh god, this isn't going to work. And sure enough, it didn't. Now, I enjoyed it because, again, I love the franchise, but when you get past the franchise, it's a hot mess. It's really a hot mess.
I didn't even bother. I saw it, I walked past the cinema and there was a big poster. I'm just like, nay.
Oh, I have the poster when they go out. I'll quite happily take that, but they make really cool references to like bits in the game. So like one part, of course, as you know, is when they jump off my buildings. They don't have this like wagon of hay that they put in, and everything's perfectly fine. Well, one part of it is a guard gets pushed off, ends up in a barn of hay, and just dies because he smashed through it all.
Great.
The eagles are constantly there, even though it's like in the middle of London. It's like, oh, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, one of the great ones is you can tell Fassbender gets serious because he takes off his shirt. They used that to show that he means business as the Michael Fassbender goes into the Animus, takes off his shirt. It's like, oh, for God's sake, this is terrible.
Yeah. Well, my stinkers of 2016.
Yeah.
The movie White Girl.
Right.
Which was supposed to be really controversial. And I'm watching it and I'm like, why the hell is this that controversial? Until like 10 minutes towards the end. And I'm like, oh, alright. But for me, I was completely desensitized and didn't think it was that bad at all. Right. The Neon Demon, which I'm pretty sure we've talked about on this before.
We have,
when I watched it. God, that film is so bad. It's not even like it tried to be good.
It's just oh shit.
It was just awful. Obviously, for me, it's not a light choice, but I didn't like Doctor Strange.
It was okay. I can't say any more than it was okay.
Yeah.
For me, it was better than Civil War. But that's only because I like Doctor Strange. Yeah.
The Killing Joke movie, the animated movie, wasn't as good as I wanted it to be.
I never watched it because I knew it was going to be one of those ones that's not going to be as good as what we want it to be.
Yeah. Just looking through my list of films I've seen this year as well. Because I've kept a record of every film I've watched this year. Not just including 2016, but every film I've watched.
I think we've gone through enough stuff.
I think that's, yeah, and I don't care about Deadpool.
Oh yeah.
But so, when we come on to my list of 2016 films, it's they were initially released in 2016 in their home country.
Yeah.
So Revenant and Creed and Room, all classed at 2015. Yeah, we didn't talk about them on the last year's awards, but that's because they came out later over here. Two of the films on my list for this year have been released over here in 2017, but going back. So what was your film of the year? And shout-outs for good films.
Again, the shout-out is Rogue One. I know I've said I've not watched it, but I know I'm going to enjoy it no matter what.
Oh, so good.
It is one of those ones. I know I'm going to enjoy it. It's an inevitability. It's a Star Wars film.
Rogue One is on my list.
Yeah.
Before last Thursday, it was my winner of the year. But Rogue One is just absolutely brilliant. I wouldn't say I enjoy it as much, but I'd say it's a better film than Force Awakens.
Okay.
It's a better film. Like, Force Awakens is, you love it because it's all the nostalgia and the...
It's a very fan service film.
It brought the magic of Star Wars back.
Yeah.
This feels like Star Wars, but also feels like something new, while giving you all the fan service, but while also telling a brilliant story.
Yeah.
And it starts a bit slow. The first act is a bit slow, but the second and third act are just... Especially that third act. Characters are interesting. The worlds are amazing. Darth Vader is awesome. But obviously you've got the CGI Tarkin, which is...
Yep.
It looks a bit weird at some points, but at other points you're just like, well, good on them, because actually that looks quite good. So yeah, Rogue One...
Mistaken by it, so...
Yeah. Yeah, it's like, Peter Cushing's not dead? Yeah, he's been dead for a bloody long time.
Yeah, he's been dead for about 22, 23 years.
Yeah. But yeah, Rogue One is a champion film.
Yeah. But, again, my loyalties lie with the Star Trek franchise more than the Star Wars. And my number one was the only film this year I actually legitimately went and paid out for twice to see while it was running, Star Trek Beyond. I've
still not seen it.
I actually bought the 3-pack Blu-ray, so I have all three of the new J.J. Abrams films. And yeah, I immediately watched Beyond again, and it's still incredible. And it's one of those films which is, if you ever watch any like the kind of goof-off kind of Star Trek films where it's not like very much like Into Darkness had the problem of it was very, this is the major dark problem, while this one is like, something's happening, we're good, everything's kicked off, we're having a fun bit of japes about it. It's incredible. It's a Star Trek film. It's very much what Force Awakens was for Star Wars. It's, you're back to the old formula that works and you love. And like Zachary Quinto, you would think Zachary Quinto would have played Spock better, but it was actually, he was one of the weaker of the roles. I mean, you had Simon Pegg's Scotty was very standout, because again, he co-wrote it, so it's one of those ones you feel like you gave yourself a better role, and I don't blame you for it. Carl Urban's
Bones has always been brilliant.
I would actually say Carl Urban's this is Carl Urban's best role. He hasn't had many great ones.
He's brilliant as Bones. That's the best bit of casting they did when they...
Him as McCoy is the best thing ever, and then Beyond, it's even better, because there's a lot of interactions between McCoy and Spock, because they get marooned together, and it's kind of the interactions between those two of you always know they hate, like McCoy's very hateful of him, but you actually see there's more to it than that.
Yeah.
So it's one of those ones of, it's out on Blu-ray right now. If you don't own any of them, there's a free pack you can get, which I found was actually £2 more expensive than buying just one of them by itself. So that's the best bargain that's the best bargain of the year for me. It was, I can buy 3 Blu-rays for £17. Where else can I do that?
Yeah. So yeah, Star Trek Beyond and Rogue One.
Yeah.
Up there. I don't mind. I watched a lot of films this year. Not as many as I wanted to, and I actually think 2016 was not a good year for film.
It was subpar for quite a lot of them.
Literally, I've got 5 films here that I'd probably put 6 films over 4 stars out of 5. And that was the only one that's missing from this list, so I'll give it a shout out, was The Fundamentals of Caring, starring Paul Rudd, which was a Netflix original.
Yeah.
Which is a brilliant film. Mine, I'll go in chronological order. So at the beginning of the year, and I only watched it recently, Zootropolis, or Zootopia, depending on where you're from.
It depends on where you are, isn't it?
Yeah. Zootopia is the American one, Zootropolis over here. But yeah, that is just an absolutely brilliant movie. So good. Absolutely. Like, it took me by surprise, because obviously Disney have been really strong over these last few years. Like, you had Tangled, which is brilliant, Frozen's brilliant, Wreck-It Ralph's brilliant, Big Hero 6 is brilliant. I can't remember what they did. What was last year's one? Before Zootropolis.
What, for Disney?
Yeah. Was it Big Hero 6 before Zootropolis?
Yes, it was.
Alright. I haven't seen Wona yet, though. So I don't know about that. But yeah, so Zootropolis, it's got a lot of good life lessons in it. Teaches you about racism.
It's a very intriguing one how they did that, the racism thing.
Yeah. Has some incredibly clever jokes.
Mm.
The elephant in the room joke will go down as one of my favourite things ever. Yeah, it's just a really well made film. Another one of three of my top films have all been published by Disney this year. So Rogue One, that we've already talked about. Jungle Book, the new Jungle Book film.
Yeah, the new live action one.
Live action one is absolutely brilliant, and it wasn't just the cinema experience because I watched it at Christmas. I watched it on Christmas Day, and it feels so much. It's like, okay, we've got the original Jungle Book film, but we're going to paint it with dark colours. But they kept the singing. That's what's the best bit. Christopher Walken singing King of the Swingers is the greatest thing to happen in all of cinema history. Slowly followed by Bill Murray singing Bare Necessities. It's just, whoever's idea it was to cast those two for those roles are brilliant. And it looks beautiful. The only CGI that looks a bit dodgy is the baby elephant.
Yeah.
But the rest of it just looks awesome. And Idris Elba is sheer calm. Talk about threatening.
To be honest, 2016 was the year of Idris Elba.
I think the last 4 years have been the years of Idris Elba.
It was 2016
hitting out of the park.
It really stood out to me how everything he was in was gold.
Yeah. Yeah, he was in a film, I think it's called 100 Streets, which came out at the end of last year, which is supposed to be really good as well.
Mm.
Really well acted. But yeah, so Jungle Book was there. And then, now this one is not getting a lot of love, but I really liked it. And that was Silence, Martin Scorsese's new film.
See, now this is the film that I really want to go and see. But everyone I've asked, do you want to go and see it? No, it's too dark and it's too serious. I'm like, oh.
No. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go and see it again in the cinema.
Yeah.
It's not that good. But I got really offended the other day because we were watching a film on Channel 5. And, they do those annoying showbiz news bits in the middle. And they referred to it as Martin Scorsese's boring snooze fest.
Oh, really?
And I was like, that's just Channel 5. They're uneducated and uncultured swine.
Yeah.
But the thing is I'm not a huge Scorsese fan. I love Goodfellas. Goodfellas is brilliant. But I'm not a huge fan of Taxi Driver. The Departed, I'm not a huge fan of. It's always like, he's good. But the only film before that I watched that I was like, that's brilliant, was Goodfellas. But Silence is possibly my favourite of his films. If you don't know this plot, because it's not been well advertised, two Jesuit priests sent to Japan in the early 1600s, well, the mid 1600s, to find their mentor. And it's while Christianity was banned in Japan, and it's the journey of Andrew Garfield's character trying to find Liam Neeson's character and all the troubles he has during the way. And it's so subtle. Like, there's very little violence in the film. There's some quite torturous scenes, but it's not violent scenes. There's one big bit of violence, and that's it. But yeah, and there's no soundtrack. There's very little music in the film.
So, I like
probably that. Well, it goes with the name. It's called Silence. But yeah, it's like, I think most of the if there is music, it's like diegetic, so there's music there in the scene. But yeah, so good. And Andrew Garfield and Adam Driver are brilliant in it. Liam Neeson's a bit iffy at the end, but Andrew Garfield is incredible in it. But my number one film of the year, and I don't think this is any surprise because it's everyone's number one film of the year, is La La Land.
Oh yeah.
Like, I only saw it on Thursday because it's only just been released over here.
Yeah.
But it's so good. Like, I knew from the opening scene, I was like, this is a brilliant film. So it opens up, and it's the big highway into Los Angeles. Big highway into Hollywood, and all the cars are backed up, and there's a load of traffic, and it's just cutting down these cars, showing all these different people, and it stops. And it's just a random girl that you don't see after this musical number. And she starts singing. She gets out of the car, and everyone starts joining in and singing, and this big song, big musical number, blah, blah, blah. But the way they shot it is to make it look like that's one take. Like, I noticed a few hidden cuts here and there. But it just, from that moment, I was like, this is going to be a brilliant film. Like, no doubt about it. Like, you got me into this film before you even shown the two main characters. That's an impressive feat. And then Emma Stone is just brilliant. Ryan Gosling is perfect in this film. It's one of his strongest performances. If he doesn't win the Oscar, I'm going to be fuming.
I think he will.
Yeah, Casey Affleck can fuck off. I like Casey Affleck, but not as much as I like Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling, it's just brilliant. The music is brilliant. I've been listening to the soundtrack non-stop since I watched it. It's beautifully lavish, but yeah, it's not in your face. You know, a lot of musicals are quite in your face with the musical numbers. Yeah. There's 4 songs, 4 like actual singing numbers, musical numbers. The rest are all dance and music, just music. Because the plot is that Ryan Gosling is a struggling jazz pianist who wants to get a jazz club, and Emma Stone is a struggling actress trying to become a thing. And they meet, they fall in love, they do this, blah blah blah, and they get it. It's a typical Hollywood movie, but the ending is very not Hollywood at all.
Yeah.
But I won't spoil it because it's brilliant. So yeah, everyone go out and see La La Land. That is my film of the year, and it's the best. It's one of the best films I've seen in a long time. Long time. It's probably the best film since Her, which was 2013.
Wow. Yeah. So,
yeah, there we go. So, our winners so far, Uncharted 4 for Game of the Year and Overwatch, Westworld and Peaky Blinders and Kamen Riders for TV.
Yep. And
Star Trek Beyond and La La Land for film. Now we go to where we belong.
Well, is it anymore? That's the question.
Is it? No, because I've given up. Comics are not good at the minute. Well, they're not. I wouldn't say they're not good. They're just a bit dull.
Yeah.
Like, although DC Rebirth has been really strong, it hit a level and just leveled out and hasn't gone up since.
Yeah.
Like, those first 6 issues of most of the books, boom, and then it's just leveled out. So, we'll start with best miniseries of the year. Now, I don't know how many miniseries you read.
I've read a few.
Best miniseries / one-shot, because one of mine's a one-shot. And just to say, we've cut out the Rebirth special as a nominee because we're going to talk about that a little bit later on.
Yeah.
So
the
for that and single issue.
The mini-series is a tough one, really, because there have been a lot of great ones, but most of them aren't finished yet.
Yeah, well, one of mine isn't finished so far. One of mine had 2 issues in 2017, but they were 2 really good issues. So.
Yeah. So one of them, of course, is The Unworthy Thor.
That's on my list.
And
it's just that opening issue of Unworthy Thor.
Yeah.
It's just awesome. And then the second issue, bringing Peter Ray Bill back. Oh, love Peter Ray Bill. And then in the third issue, they got and fucking brought back Gore the God Butcherer. I had a fucking heart attack.
Now the issue being as well, Raven is a miniseries that came out.
Yes.
That began.
Issue 5 came out this week.
I still have to double check whether or not this is the same miniseries they were trying to do back in 2005. Because there was a Raven miniseries they were attempting to do back then, but they never finished it. So I have to double check that one. But it's very good with the new art and everything like that. Past that, I mean, to be honest, I would like to have said Clone Conspiracy, but I know what they've done. So.
Oh, don't even get me started on that book.
What did I say?
It's really well written. It's really well written.
Yeah.
But it just angers me so much.
Well, all I say is I literally called it that they were going to bring it back.
You did. Fucking Ben Reilly, man. And now he's getting his own fucking ongoing series.
Back with the hoodie as well.
With a hoodie. What is this, the 90s? Yep. DC have gone all 90s, and now Marvel are going all 90s. Oh.
I would say probably my favourite kind of it was a mini-series inside of a main series because it kind of tied in elsewhere. It was The Last Days of Magic for Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
It was very strong. It's one of the ones that, well, I think at the time you had Civil War 2 going on at the same time, so it was very much not, well, it wasn't mentioned at all, really.
Jason Aaron has a habit of that.
Yeah.
His Thor run, the only time it's tied into an event is when he did Original Sin. But that's because he wrote the event. And they were separate issues. They were he did 24.1 or whatever it was at the time. So he actually skipped. So he didn't actually tie in his book to it. And he's never tied in Thor since. He's not tied in Doctor Strange in 20 events. So good on it.
Well, it's good. So, but that's kind of me for mini-series, to be honest.
Yep.
I've got more stuff for singles and series.
Now, my winner, I completely forgot was this year because it started in 2015.
Yeah.
So we'll hold on for that one. I'm going to start with a one-shot.
Yep.
And that goes to The Dark Knight Returns, Last Crusade, by Frank Miller, Brian Azzarello, and John Romita Jr.
Okay.
It's a story that's set before Dark Knight Returns. And it's a story, it's like a mini Joker story. And it's just... It wouldn't be if it wasn't John Romita Jr.'s art. It wouldn't be that good. But just seeing John Romita Jr. draw the Joker is just everything I've ever wanted.
Yeah.
So that was awesome. Darkman, Forbidden Mansion of Love by Sarah Vaughan and Lan Medina. Only 2 issues. It's only a 3-issue mini-series. 2 issues came out in 2016. It's really well written and it looks beautiful. So it's this mansion and Darkman. What am I talking about? Darkman, Dead Man, not Darkman. Stupid idiot. Dead Man, Forbidden Mansion of Love. So Dead Man's trapped in this mansion. He can't leave this mansion. And he's got to try and get someone to help him out. And he has to possess everyone that comes in to try and help him get out. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Unworthy Thor, obviously.
Yeah.
We've covered that. Grizzly Shark
Oh God, that yeah.
Grizzly Shark was brilliant. Most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. But it was, what was it? Grizzly Shark Returns, and then Grizzly Shark versus Sea Bear. What a trilogy. If you haven't read it, just go and read it. It'll only take you 10 minutes to read all 3 issues probably, because there's not much words. It's just pissing about. But my winner, and because I forgot about it, Superman American Alien.
Ooh.
Because 2 issues came out. I'm pretty sure 2 issues came out in 2015.
Yeah.
And then the rest came out in there. It was just a cracking series. Like, every issue was brilliant. Every issue was standout. So yeah, the first issue is Superman, first time he flies. Second issue is the first time he goes on a boat, and his first time in that sense, his first time slept with Cheetah. Who'd have thought Superman would have lost his virginity to Cheetah?
That is.
Issue 3, or was that issue 3? I can't remember. Issue 3, I think, is the one where he moves to Metropolis. Issue 4, he interviews Oliver Queen, Bruce Wayne, and Lex Luthor. Issue 5 is he's finally taken up the Superman mantle. And it's just the story of Superman, essentially. It's 7 issues long. And the last issue is a brutal fight between Superman and Lobo, which is awesome. But yeah, and that's my top miniseries of the year, and we'll come back to it again in a minute for single issues. So if we jump on to single issues.
Single issue.
No. Let's go ongoing first, because then the single issues comes into
yeah.
That, so.
Ongoing wise, it's one of those ones of Rebirth started out strong, as we said.
Yeah.
But the amount of titles I've dropped from it is insane.
Well, I've got more than 5 here. I've got 3 DC, 2 Marvel, and 2 Image titles here.
The first one I'm going to have to mention is Lucifer from Vertigo.
Yep. I've not read any of it, actually. Yet.
It's absolutely incredible, and it's stayed strong. I'm only going to kind of mention in passing these ones. Next one is the Teen Titans, the new revitalised one. It's only had about...
The
Damian Wayne's.
Damian Wayne Teen Titans.
Yeah. It's only had about 3-4 issues, but it's one of those ones which is, depending on which side of the Titans you fall, whether it be the absolute classics or the all-new Teen Titans, DC have actually given both fans something to kind of back behind, and it's nice to see that both like sets of fans going to have somewhere they can belong. I mean, another this would have been my number 2. Is my number 2? It would have been number 1 until something came back. Jeff Lemire's Moon Knight has been absolutely amazing from start.
What about that?
It's one of those ones that it started. I'm sure it started in 2015. Actually, no, it started in 2016. 2016 was a very weird year, but
yeah, it's February, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's been incredible, and always questioning what happened until one standout issue where it kind of all made a little bit more sense. There's still too many questions. But the winner is, because it came back this year, Monstrous.
Is that your winner?
Yeah.
See, I put it in my list. I made it my winner because I feel like the second arc has taken a serious drop in quality.
I wouldn't say it's a drop. It's changed pace.
Yeah. But we've only had although because it only started in November 2015, didn't it? Because I remember we said that the issue 1 was like our best issue of the year.
Yeah.
But we couldn't say it was the best series because it only had 2 issues.
Yeah, because it's only on issue 9 now after its break.
Yeah, issue 9 came out the other week.
Yeah, it's changed the pace because, again, the pace it changes pace depending on what happening to the characters. So right now the pace has slowed down because again there's not as much going on as much. Which I kind of like. It's the fact that the pacing of the story reflects kind of how the characters are feeling, and the art is still absolutely on point.
Oh yeah, the art is just beautiful. Silence Carter.
Yeah. But I hope that this thing keeps going the way it is and doesn't stop.
Yeah.
But
So that's your winner, is it, for ongoing?
But my biggest flop for ongoing is Wonder Woman.
Yeah, talk about dropping quality.
Oh man, it
started so strong.
4 issues of absolutely amazing, and then it went terrible.
The thing is the year 1 continued to be really good, but the Lies storyline was just so dull.
It was the biggest shock to myself when I was saying I want to drop Wonder Woman, because I thought of all the things I would keep going, it would be Wonder Woman. No, it's just not.
Especially when just before Rebirth we heard Greg Rucka is writing Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
again.
and it was like, this is going to be amazing, and it just turned out to be piss poor.
Yeah, like the first couple issues of the Lies story arc were quite good, but then it just went like year 1 was good, but it wasn't brilliant. I felt like the issue 2 of Wonder Woman, which was the first year 1 story, was absolutely brilliant. But yeah, it was really disappointing. I'm just trying to think what my flop of the year ongoing is. Blue Beetle.
Oh yeah,
which makes me really sad.
Because it is. DC has been one of those ones of we've been really excited for these brand new things, brand new ideas, and they never delivered. No.
I'm hoping the road that they go down. Like, I like the idea of the road that they're going down with in Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
But the execution's not been strong. But I think it's just Jaime Reyes. I just really struggle with his character. Just don't find him interesting at all. But they haven't done a great job with Ted Kord. They haven't made him very likeable, which is kind of hard to do that. Especially seeing as though Keith Giffen is writing it, who wrote Blue Beetle for years, and wrote him brilliantly for years. So, yeah. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's any flops from Marvel. Amazing Spider-Man just dropped quality really quickly for the Clone Conspiracy.
Yeah, Spidey did.
Like the Before Dead No More stuff was awesome when they were setting up Clone Conspiracy.
I would actually say quite a lot of the spiders, to be honest. When they cut back on the Spider family, all of them took kind of a quality hit because of the fact, like, it just felt like funding for spiders became like a byproduct for all of Marvel, and the Humans went up.
Silk stayed consistent. Spidey 2099 wasn't great.
No.
I don't read Spider-Woman, so I can't say that. Spider-Woman was good. But
it just feels like they've been putting a lot into the X-Men and the Inhumans. Their biggest flop was Civil War 2.
We'll talk about that later on. So yeah, my nominees of the year. We'll start with Image. So Monstrous again.
Yeah.
Like, it's still brilliant, even though the second arc for me hasn't been as good. But my one from Image this year that's really shined is Kill or Be Killed, which is Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips' new book. I'll go into more detail on that when we go to single issues. But from Marvel, I've got 2 that have shined for me. No surprise, Thor.
Yeah.
Mighty Thor. Been really strong recently, especially these last few issues. So we've had the setup of the return of the League of Realms, which was an arc they did back in which was Jason Aaron's second arc, where he had a character from each realm as part of this team. But obviously, things have changed a lot since then. So the League of Realms was now, they had to add Angela, because they have the 10th realm now. They had to get new characters for each of the other realms, is the thing. But Thor's no longer from Asgard.
No.
So you need someone to represent Asgard. And Jason Aaron, you didn't disappoint, did you? He put Sif in there. Oh, what a legend. I love Sif. But yeah, so Thor was actually the representation for Earth, which I quite liked. Oh. Well, her and Ross Solomon, the S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. The other one for me, and I hate myself for saying this, because we badmouthed it so much when it was announced. That's Vision.
Badmouthed it, but then they actually made that story amazing.
Yeah, Vision was so good. And again, we'll come on to that in a minute, because one of the issues of that is in my single issues list. Over at DC, Titans.
Yeah.
You've gone Teen Titans, I've gone Titans.
That's what I mean when it's the whole, depending on which side of the family you like, you choose one side or the other.
Just Wally West, man. Wally West. It's so nice to have him back and actually be Wally. And this first arc's been really interesting as well, because it looks like Abracadabra is the reason Wally disappeared, not Dr. Manhattan, which I quite liked. So Dr. Manhattan took the time away, Abracadabra took away Wally West.
Right, it's the Manhattan stuff that's happening now.
Yeah, Manhattan stuff. Like, it was quite interesting in the end of Wally has to, as every Flash story usually ends, Wally ran so fast he ended up in the Speed Force.
As he does.
And while he was in there, he heard the words Manhattan.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh, what's going on in Manhattan? Well, let's go find out. And it's like, oh, they're not talking about the city, mate. They're not talking about the city.
Well, it's been announced that in April there's going to be a tie-in that might make me buy 2 books.
I'm well hyped for that.
Flash Batman crossover.
For
the story of what's going on.
But you've also got in, I want to say February or March. In March, you have the Superman crossover that deals with Mr. Oz.
Yeah, because everyone's thinking he's Ozymandias.
And then Jeff Johns has announced he's doing an event about the Watchmen. So that'll be awesome. Then next up, Green Arrow.
Now
I'm a few issues behind, so don't know if it's continued, but essentially what they did with Green Arrow is take everything that they did wrong in New 52 and just fixed it. They're like, here's Black Canary back. And I think that just blinded me.
Yeah.
And then it was just brilliant because Black Canary was back. And then they put Diggle in it. I was like, yeah, Diggle, my main man. I love Diggle. I do hope they don't put Felicity Smoke in it again. Like, that was fun for 5 issues, but let's not do that again.
Yeah.
But Diggle can stay. But yeah, Black Canary. I am a few issues behind. I haven't read... I think the last issue I read was issue 8. I've got all the issues, I just haven't got around to reading them yet. But my winner for ongoing, and it makes me so happy I can say this, is Superman.
Yeah, Superman's been incredible.
I'm so happy. Like, that's the one book that's just not leveled out, and it's just been, this is good, this is brilliant, this is brilliant. So you the opening arc with the Eradicator and Crypto. They brought Crypto back, killed him off, then brought him back again. It was awesome. Then again, we'll talk about a particular issue in a minute. And then you had the Super Sons arc with Damian and Jonathan Kent meeting. That was fun. And now you've got the Multiplicity arc, which is a follow-on from Grant Morrison's Multiversity.
Yeah.
And a little bit from Convergence as well. Captain Carrot is no longer a cartoon carrot and is a cartoon rabbit, and is now just a normal rabbit in a cape. Just literally a little rabbit, and Superman's holding him. But yeah, Superman has been absolutely brilliant, and it makes me so happy that Superman is where it's at now, and Batman has taken a backseat. Because although there's a similar amount of Batman and Superman books, if you count all the families, the Batman main series is good. I wouldn't say it's brilliant, Detective Comics is strong. And most of them are strong, but not as strong as Superman. And that makes me so happy to say. Because it's about time my boy in blue got some respect.
There's also the fact there's now 14 different Supermen around now.
Yeah. But if you want, you can only focus. If you want, you can only focus on one, and that's fine.
Yeah.
If you look at it, you've got Superman from pre-Flashpoint is our main Superman.
Yeah.
You have a Clark Kent that's running around who we don't know who he is yet. We don't know his story. There's a normal Clark Kent. Then you've got Supergirl. Then you have Superwoman, who was originally Lois Lane, but then they did me proud and made it Lana Lang.
Yep.
Which is always good. Then you got Chinese Superman, which nobody likes.
Yeah, that happened.
Yeah, it's not been that critically acclaimed. But yeah, so there are plenty of Superman hanging around. But then again, that's DC for you.
Yeah, it's
there's going to be like 4 Flashes running around. 2 of them have the same name.
Well, we now have 6 Green Lanterns from Earth running about.
Yeah.
However, one of those, again, a flop there was the Green Lanterns book. It started out so well, and...
yeah, that's dropped quite quickly.
Yeah. I think, to be honest, if Jessica Cruz was by herself, I think it would be better. And that's a big save for me, because I love Simon Baz when he first came in, but...
Yeah, then Sam Humphries is just making him quite unlikable.
He's a very one-dimensional character now.
Yeah.
But to be honest, Jessica Cruz is just very much based around anxiety, which is... I get it.
It's a bit annoying,
it's good,
yeah.
But we don't need to keep going around this storyline for the 15th time.
So, if we move on to single issues.
Yeah.
Now this one's quite hard to do because you really got to think about what stood out. The first one I want to give a shout out to is Vision issue 7, which is written by Tom King, and I want to say the art is by Gerard. I can't remember.
One where we see is it the murder one?
No, that is the Scarlet Witch issue.
Okay.
Where the cover is Vision covered by like 3 Scarlet Witches.
Yeah.
And it just tells the story of them. Like retells that story of their life.
Stuff.
And it's so well written and it looks beautiful as well. The art in that series was just brilliant. So yeah,
the series itself, that was terrible.
Yeah. But yeah, Scarlet Witch weird. There's ghosts and weird.
The art was the worst part of that as well.
Yeah. But yeah, so Vision issue 7 was really strong. And then I want to say a shout out to another issue 7, Superman issue 7.
Yep.
Which was a filler issue. And John, Clark and Lois go to the county fair.
That's nice.
And Superman's got beat up a couple of ruffians that are and it's a really well written issue, just nice, simple stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was up there, and there was a cow in it. It's not like cows. I'm just trying to think. Flash issue 9.
Yep.
Which was Kid Flash of 2 worlds, where the 2 Wally Wests met, and at the end of that issue, I'm going to spoil.
See, now, that would be an amazing thing to have, that and the Flash of 2 worlds sitting next to each other on a
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? Because you've got, in that issue, Barry Allen runs into the Speed Force,
yeah,
and sees Jay Garrick's hat.
Oh.
So they're coming back. The JSA are coming back, boy. Hopefully, eventually. We've seen Johnny Thunder. Seen Johnny Thunder, and we've seen Jay Garrick's hat, and we've seen Dr. Fate.
And with the whole multiverse Superman stuff now, I would say that they're bringing them back.
Oh yeah, they better.
The proper Earth 2 is returning.
Yeah. Oh, the JSA. I love the JSA. Can't think what else.
Well, I'll tell
I had a list, and then I accidentally deleted my list.
Well, I've got one. Hal Jordan and Green Lanterns issue 10. Now, most people probably think I would have chosen like 2 issues prior, which was the the climactic first arc battle between Sinestro and Hal Jordan, but I'm not a pure Hal Jordan fan. I'm a Kyle Rayner fan, which is why issue 10 was a lot better, because it was the official reintroduction of Kyle Rayner into the DC universe since
Rebirth.
Omega Men.
Yeah.
Because he only had kind of like a cameo appearance in Hal Jordan prior, which was just one panel of him noticing Hal Jordan's being a Burke. It was, again, it's one of those ones which is Hal Jordan has died once more. He lasted all of 7 issues before he died. And is brought back to life by Kyle, which makes sense because he's the White Lantern. So
he's an arrogant, cocky little shit, Hal Jordan, isn't he?
Yeah, he really is. It was kind of cool though, because it was the same issue where you kind of see that all Green Lanterns who like kind of served the ring and willpower wholeheartedly, they kind of have their own afterlife called the Emerald. Like it's like the Emerald Light, I think it's called. And so you see a lot of characters who have died over the years of Green Lantern are there and still alive. So like John Stewart's old love interest from the Green Lantern Corps is in there, who died, I think it was just before Blackest Night. And you have Abin Sur, you have and Toma Ray's there and everything like that. And it's really nice to kind of see that they haven't forgotten about all these characters. They're still there, even though they're dead still. So that was, I would say that's probably number 3. Now, number 2 is going to be a weird one. Now, you're going to hear tape and everything, because I've got to try and remember, because annoyingly, if you buy an alternative cover, must be number 9 then. My one is Mighty Morphing Power Rangers number 9 from Boom. It's been one of those weird books which has been like, it's been pretty okay all the way through its kind of run. But the last one was such a, it was literally for one panel, which is like, if you're a fan of anything like that type of thing, seeing a combination of the old green Mighty Morphing Power Ranger and then the white suit with him, and the whole, they're establishing a new character that's kind of looks really cool. It's just, for one panel, it was a great issue. But my number 1, actually, a shout out would be Teen Titans number 1, again, with the whole, no, number 0.
The Rebirth issue.
Yeah. With Damien profiling every single member.
Oh, that was good.
The Teen Titans is absolutely incredible. That actually might be my number 2 over it, and the shout would be Mighty Morphing. But number 1 is Moon Knight number 9.
Number 9, I haven't read that issue. I gave up after the first arc. I really didn't like the first issue of the second arc.
If you stick with it, it makes sense what's happening. And number 9, so I won't say anything too much about it, because again, it's one of those ones that's not too long out, being only about a month or so. Number 9 is, it culminates everything, and you see Mark Spector dealing with his own issues finally. So the whole split personality, you see him personally trying to come to terms with it and understand what he's done over the years to cope with what he does. And it's a very moving piece. And it brings Moon Knight into a very different, like, look, it's more humanized. It's very much like how Spider-Man was like the human, the one that you see more of Peter Parker than you do of Spider-Man. Number 9 was very much this is Mark Spector. You understand why he does what he's done and why he has these different personalities. And it's a very, very amazing issue, and I recommend just stick with the second arc to understand and read that final bit. Because I'll admit, there's issues, I think it's like 6 or 7, was pretty bad because it was just so confusing. But
yeah,
number 9,
you got completely lost when I came into that arc. Like,
yeah, number 9 makes it all, you understand it all, and it's really good.
So the other two that I've got to talk about, Superman American Alien issue 5.
Yeah.
Which is just for Lex Luthor lecturing Clark Kent.
A good bit, yeah.
As he breaks in from his window. It's like, you just broke through my window. Like, who's going to pay for that? Are you going to pay for that? That was a brilliant issue. But my number one is Kill or Be Killed issue 3.
Right.
Now, the plot of Kill or Be Killed is kind of convoluted. So there's this guy, and he gets visited by this like demon thing that you can't, because also you can see his death. And essentially it's like, you've got to kill these people. You've got to kill people so you can survive.
Okay. And
like, you choose who to kill. Like, you choose who deserves to die. But if you don't kill them, you'll die. So the first issue is him finding out that. The second issue is him deciding who he's going to kill for the first time. And he goes back to, he reminisces, in the second issue, reminisces about his friend when he was a kid. It turned out his friend was sexually abused by his brother.
Oh, wow.
And all this shit, and it was really dark, and it was like, and it turns out his brother's done like loads of porn rings, it's got like kiddie porn all over his computer and shit like that. So he decides to kill this guy. He's like, this guy's scum, I'm going to kill him. But the third issue is him dealing with the guilt of killing this guy, even though he was a horrible person. And he's there, and he's got this roommate who he's known for years, friends with, but she's in a relationship. And that issue is him dealing with the guilt, and she's there while her boyfriend's out of town, and they end up sleeping together. And it's just a really interesting issue that plays with the psyche of his mental health. And it's so well written, that issue. And it's just, when they actually get together, it's like, you're like, oh, go on, boy, you do it, mate. Yeah, boy. But yeah, so Kill or Be Killed, issue 5 came out yesterday. I can't wait to read it, because it's just... But Sean Phillips and Ed Brubaker are the team you've got to watch. They did Fatale, which is incredible. They did The Fade Out, which was brilliant. And now they're doing this. They did more before that, but I haven't read any stuff before that.
I might have to jump on Kill or Be Killed. It sounds good.
Yeah, it is. It's hard going, because it's really dark. But, you know, that's Image for you. When you get a decent creative team on Image, they do usually go dark.
Yeah. So
yeah, Kill or Be Killed is my number one issue of the year. Number 3. So we've got two more awards, and these are special awards. They're like a Lifetime Achievement Award. We have the Golden Bugle, named after the Daily Bugle, which is the good award, makes a good noise, and the Golden Dumpster. And these will go to people who have either done really good this year or done really bad this year.
Well,
so we'll start
this one a little bit brief, just to realise how long we've been talking.
Yeah. So the Golden Bugle, pretty obvious who's going to give it to Jeff Johns, because Rebirth. That one issue. The Rebirth. He's now the president of the DC shit, and he's doing all this Dr. Manhattan shit, and he's going to make the films better. Now he's done there, and he's coming back and writing, and everything he does is bloody golden. So we're giving it to him, because the end of the Dark Side War was brilliant, and DC Rebirth, he brought back Wally West, and he's promised me the Justice Society. So Jeff Johns is the winner, and Watchmen. Our Dumpster Award goes to no other than Brian Michael Bendis.
I think this might be a second year running from us, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, he single-handedly ruined the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
Because his run of Guardians. As soon as the films came out, let's paint them like the films. Let's do them like the films. Let's change all their character. Because Star-Lord has always been a cocky little shit. No, he hasn't.
Which annoyed me, because I really liked the armoured suits that they were using prior.
It's like, let's do all this and let's do that. Then he jumped on Iron Man. And we thought, okay, Iron Man, this is quite good. That's for Iron Man, this is really good. And it built, and then it dropped, like everything. And then he decided, let's do Civil War 2.
Oh, God.
Which is the biggest mess in Marvel in a long time. You thought Secret Wars was a mess, but Secret Wars was good. It took a long time to get out, but it was good.
And it didn't change the fundamentals of characters. It just went, here they are, here's some wacky versions of them.
And it didn't take 9 months, 10 months to come out.
Yeah. Because one of the great fundamental things is, when it comes to Civil War 2, it's, everyone now hates Carol Danvers. Yeah,
he made Carol Danvers the most unlikable character in the Marvel Universe.
And it's because he completely changed how she acts.
Yeah.
Because if you read anything prior to this, you realise that Michael Bendis just went, I'm not even going to forward his full name because he doesn't even deserve it. Oh, she's just a cocky bitch who's going to be stubborn and not see anything. And not take any blame. It's like, no, this isn't... You've just literally gone... we want to don't want to use Captain America again. We'll invent a character. Oh, screw it, Captain Marvel will do.
Yeah.
It's got Marvel in the name. And it's a shame, because I absolutely adore Carol Danvers prior to this. But as soon as they've now changed all of the characters that are her character around... They've done, and it's not just her, they did it with so many people in that.
Iron Man was not like himself in that book.
Yeah.
Like, Iron Man was likeable in that book. Like, you rooted for him.
Yeah, it was like him and Steve Rogers kind of changed places for a while.
And then he completely changed how Kamala Khan felt.
Yeah.
And what Miles Morales would do. And he created Miles Morales. And he's just flipped it around. And and now he's doing the Infamous Iron Man, which Infamous Iron Man started strong.
Yeah.
But he's also doing Ironheart. This bloody Ironheart thing, which is just so on the nose, diversity for diversity's sake. It's just like, oh, for goodness sake. And he just does stuff without thinking about the consequences. Oh, I'm going to kill off the Hulk. And how many writers did he upset by killing off the Hulk? I remember loads of ones were coming out and being like...
at least two.
Were coming out and like, I wanted to write, I had this awesome idea for a Hulk story. A Bruce Banner story.
Well, here you go. You can do She-Hulk instead.
You can do She-Hulk or you can do Amadeus Cho.
Yeah.
Talk about dropping quality.
I put She-Hulk in a coma. So
I put She-Hulk in a coma and she's come out and she's great.
Yeah. I've screwed her up, and Amadeus Cho I've just put into the champion, so he's a bit messed up as well.
Like, Mark Waid is now having to deal with all of that crap.
Yeah.
He's trying to do his champions, but also do his Avengers run. It's just... he just ruins everything. And it just doesn't... Like, he's not a bad writer at all. Like, he's a really good writer, because if you read his Ultimate Spider-Man run...
Oh, yeah, he does some really
and you read his stuff from before, and you read his Daredevil run... His Daredevil run is flawless.
His issue is he has no one there to say no.
No, he's Bendis.
Everyone just says yes to him, and that's where the problem is, because he can just get away with anything.
Right, and there's his Guardians thing, right? So, this isn't just Bendis, this is Marvel pissing me off, right?
Yeah.
So Guardians, end of Civil War, the ship blows up, right? And they're stuck on Earth. Brilliant.
Yeah, it's the Grounded.
I think, Grounded, this will be cool. Maybe we'll have a new team of Guardians. No. All new Guardians of the Galaxy issue 1. The team is Star-Lord, Gamora, Drax, Rocket, and Baby Groot.
Oh, I wonder why that's the team.
When in all of Marvel's history, there's never been such thing as a Baby Groot.
Groot's always grown back.
He pretty much grows back instantly.
Takes about a week tops.
Yeah.
From disintegration.
And he remembers everything and he's just back to where he is. So, like... Bendis is the person that's just been on the money grabs. They're like, we need to make a money grab, do this.
Well, just wait, 2 issues time you'll have Mantis appear.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. And Yondu. Yondu will be in it.
Yeah.
Marvel, just stop.
However,
your movie cash grab.
my bonus one is actually, it's a half and half of why did you do that for 2016, which was half to the internet, half to Marvel.
Oh, Nick Spencer's Captain America.
Captain America, Steve Rogers. First of all, an amazing premise. Absolutely incredible. Why did the internet go absolutely crap crazy just because of the films? And the second one, Spencer, why did you cop out and make a really shit story when you had a great concept?
Well, because Marvel would have been pressure.
Yeah, it was one of those...
The idea was like, this is really good, let's steal the limelight from DC. Because it was the same week.
Yeah.
The Rebirth. Steal the limelight. And then they were like, oh shit, we messed up big time.
Yeah, it's like, we caused more controversy than we did any great publicity. And it's a shame, because it just felt like Spencer kind of just lost all of his balls for it. It was like, oh, yeah, here's the spoiler part of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I blame both sides. I blame the internet's reaction, and I because even the people who just like watched the films knew about the Hydra Captain America.
Yeah, but you got to look like Marvel have already announced their next events. Like they didn't even finish Civil War and they started Inhumans versus X-Men.
Yeah,
that's going. They've now started on Monsters Unleashed,
which was weird because again, it's not long after DC's kind of monsters arc they did for Halloween.
Yeah, the Monster Men thing. It seems pretty much exactly the same. And then after that, we're going to have Secret Empire, which is probably going to be the fallout from Cap.
Yeah, but it looks like it's a new Secret Empire team.
Yeah, but yeah, it looks like there's going to be an event where they're going to find out about Cap.
Yeah.
As well, which Marvel, just stop with the events. Like they're never good.
What you know of is the possible Watchmen one for DC.
Well, you got Justice League versus Suicide Squad going on at the minute.
Yeah.
Which is okay, and we know the Scott Snyder and Greg Capullo Batman-centric Justice League event's supposed to be this year.
Okay.
And I don't know when the follow-on from Throne of Atlantis, Rise of the Seven Seas, is supposed to be coming as well.
Well, I've seen a spoiler for Aquaman this week, which was...
Well, don't tell me yet. I haven't read it.
It was an intriguing one, I'll put it that way, of where they've done... Of how they've done Arthur Curry now. I'm actually very much on board with the new Arthur Curry.
I've been really enjoying Aquaman.
Yeah.
It's been strong.
I think it's one of those times of all the greatest controversies we could have in all of the comic book era, of the new modern era, it's Aquaman ain't a joke no more.
Yeah, man.
But anyway, I think that's a good time to stop.
That is. It's a long one.
An hour and 50.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's well done if you stayed with us this whole time.
Yeah.
Well played. But we're back and up and running. We've got no weird ways of recording. It's all back to the old school way, which is absolutely fantastic for us.
Can't guarantee that it's going to be weekly. Can't do that.
Maybe monthly.
Maybe monthly. Especially with my bloody uni timetable. Jesus.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
It's one of those ones. If monthly wise sounds good nicer, because again, it gives us more of a round.
Hey kids, don't go to Falmouth University.
Is it that bad?
They're so disorganised. So disorganised.
Anyway, thank you all for watching.
Listening.
And if you have any comments on what we've said...
I've updated the Twitter.
Okay.
I was fiddling with the Twitter, which is now at Comic Relaunched, not Comics. Comic Relaunched, because I don't fit Comics Relaunched. Bastard.
Oh, is there
So you can tweet us at that, or you can go on the Facebook page and send us a message, which is Comics Relaunched Podcast.
Yeah.
Or you can send me an email at jakearcher16@gmail.com.
So yeah, send us kind of your tops of 2016 and badmouth us for what we've just said. But anyway, thank you all.
Screw Deadpool. If it wins an Oscar, I will riot.
I highly doubt it will.
If it doesn't, if even it gets nominated for Best Picture, I'm going to be fuming.
It will just show how corrupt the system is, really.
Mm.
But anyway, thank you all for listening, and you'll hear from us again sometime in 2017. Goodbye.